So you're over 50 and you want to get active and you're thinking about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu or CrossFit, F45, Kyokushinkai Karate, MMA. What is the best mode? And let's be realistic. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, which I've done for years, is a great exercise. However, what I've noticed as I've gotten older and gotten better, I spend more time resting and pinning people and less time actively getting cardio. I did my first F45 session tonight, and I must say it was a great workout. It wasn't too hard on the joints. And in particular, I think those 45 minutes of intensive circuit training is really going to help me in my performance and other activities. CrossFit, which I haven't done in a while, I'm actually going to do a refresh next week. I think that I think that is a serious mode. I'm interested now to compare that now that I've been doing intensive Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. MMA for over 50, I don't think so. And the problem is not the modality, the problem is the instruction. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and MMA is a very, very young art, as well as, as well as F45, CrossFit, et cetera. Very, very young art. And a lot of the instructors don't understand body mechanics, body positioning. They're young and they're pretty much active grapplers. I've had two devastating injuries in jiu-jitsu, and looking back now, were they worth it? Probably not, especially for those of us who have a physical job. So if you're a mechanic, construction worker, builder, I don't know, you might build submarines, work on the railroad. You got to be careful with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA because you can get injured and then you can't make a living anymore. And then what? You're in trouble. And a lot of young people throw themselves to the wind and get into the grappling. And because grappling is such a very popular BJJ, of course, it's kind of very cultish right now. It's almost like a religion, especially the no-gi crowd. And people really get into it and they throw themselves to the wind. And you may be, I don't know, a doctor or a nurse. You might break your fingers or something and can't work for 3 months. I just came back from injury where I couldn't do anything, couldn't even walk. And is it worth it? No, probably not. Honestly, for strictly getting in shape and getting in the best condition, um, let's talk about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, you can be out of shape. Huh? I'm coming. In Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, you can be out of shape and still be proficient. So if the goal is to be in shape and to get in the best condition, I'm not so sure Jiu-Jitsu is going to be a way. Now let's talk about hardcore Kyokushin Karate or shoot or full contact or Shidokan. I kind of tip my hat toward this because you're going to learn some kind of self-defense, which is the whole purpose. I mean, if you go through a Shidokan or Kyokushinkai curriculum, you're not going to be bullied either. You're going to do a Mawashigiri to the knee, bust a guy in the head, and you're going to get out of that situation. However, it can be hard on the body. So you have to have an instructor that is used to working with older clients. Now let's talk about CrossFit F45. I think these two modes for people over 50 that just want to get into shape, I think this is the best option to go. Get a serious conditioning program and then maybe do some kind of self-defense Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu type of thing. But don't go into the sport Jiu-Jitsu because you're going to spend a lot of time rolling around on the mats getting tweaked. And for what? So you can win Masters 4.2. You'll feel better. But at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of people come in this sport and get really hurt, be really injured. And then they go back and they say, hey, was it worth it? Because there's levels to this. And at our age, let's be honest, we're not going to win Abu Dhabi. So what's the purpose of being on the mat? For 2026, I have ventured into the CrossFit F45 world. I find it fascinating, I find it challenging, and less Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, less MMA this year, probably a whole lot less. I'll still train, but my focus now is getting in the best shape of my life. Oops.